Good morning, what's shaking, what's happening? Welcome to day 5, Holland America. World Cruise on the Zuiderdam 2025 is a very rainy day today in Puerto Limon. Morning. We have the Serenade of the Seas docked beside us. There she is, we both got in at the same time. This is our third time being at this port, so we don't have any major plans, thankfully, because the rain is pretty bad. It's supposed to clear up in a couple of hours, so but see what we can do. But first, let's get some breakfast. So breakfast today, they were out of pancake mix, and I enjoyed those pancakes so much yesterday. That's kind of what I wanted, but they said, oh, but we have French toast today. And he asked me how many pieces, and I was thinking, like, the half pieces? It's full-on pieces of their fresh-made bread. So I have a ton of French toast I will never eat. Just a hash brown patty and some grits and eggs. I am apparently carving it up, but like I said, we were going to go wander in Puerto Limon, and then we have something to do at noon. So I knew we're not going to eat again until probably 1 o'clock. So kind of wanted to eat a little heavier for breakfast. That might be too heavy. Plus the weather in Puerto Limon, I don't know if you can see it, but it is very dreary, very rainy. So this being our third time here, I'm not sure we're going to do anything beyond go past the little shop at the gate. So we'll find out, though. Also, for these longer cruises, they actually print out some local papers. Now, I haven't read a USA Times or a regular paper since probably the 90s. But, you know, the demographic of Holland America, they probably still read the paper. So, but it's kind of interesting because it's just one of those things that I turned on the news the other day. I read the news this morning, actually, and I didn't realize what all was happening in the world. So it is kind of nice. I did see the Jaguars fired Doug Peterson. I think that was a long time coming, but at least they let him go to the end of the season. But nice little touch. C also said that there is a Canadian newspaper too that covers the headline news for Canada. So nice little touch on these long cruises. Now, C made her this really nice looking fruit and nut bowl. She went to a couple of the different lines to get everything, but I'm not a big fruit person. I do like some nuts, but these are cashews and walnuts, and then she's got some apricots and some berries. So it looks like raspberries and blackberries. But her being all healthy. Good for C. So we don't know if the weather is going to cooperate with us today for Puerto Limon. So you came up to the crow's nest to get a little bit better view of the port to show you guys. So that is the walkway. That is where you catch buses for excursions. You follow the white stripe pathway, it's going to take you to the port area with the shop. You go across the street, you're going to be in the town area. There's cafes, shopping, things like that. And there's a nice little park over there where you can see slots. So that is going to be Puerto Limon. All right, it is 9:55. 9:55, the weather cleared up. We ran into the captain at the crow's nest, and he said, no, the weather's going to be great by 10 o'clock. He wasn't kidding. So we're dropping off my vaccine form. They are due today, so it's just the midship elevator. They have a box to take them. We're not doing any overnights this trip, so we're not worried about that, but my little vaccine form. Now we're off to go discover Puerto Limon. All right, so here we are. We just got off the ship. Ours is here on the right. Royal Caribbean Serenade of the Seas is here on my left. And then Enchantment also pulled into the port today. So this is interesting. The past 2 times we've been to Puerto Limon, we've been the only ship. But today there's 3 ships in port. So that should be interesting to see how busy it is. Our ship is running emergency drills right now. Our room attendants were actually part of the drill. They did tell us our room's going to be a little late being cleaned, but that's fine because we were getting off, so we were okay with that. Important drills for them to run. Still a little drizzly, but definitely not the downpours that we were experiencing out there earlier today. The musicians are out and playing. We've seen them every time. I think they sell CDs, but they're not really pushing anything today. And then this is where You would catch excursions. See one of the buses right there ready to take people. It's also very, very wet and slippery here, so try to avoid some of these puddles. All right, so strolling through the port area, you definitely have your local vendors that like to push the tours. I will say with this port, I would be careful doing third-party vendor tours. Across the street from the port to this part where downport, it is flooded, so there's not a lot of places to walk. They are actively trying to squeegee and sweep it up. A few notes: we've only ever done shore excursions here. This is one of the first times we've ever tried to get off without a short excursion. Go to the left, so you just go right straight this way. They've got it cleaned up. There was a lot of pushy vendors trying to get your business if you didn't have a tour. Now, we're not massive shore excursion people. We do just kind of like to wander, find out a local restaurant, things like that. Puerto Limon is not somewhere I would suggest a third party personally, just because the 2 times we've been here, we've been on shore excursions. One of them was a ship sponsored excursion and we got back to the ship late and we were not even the last people back. There was another bus that we had to sit there for an hour and a half and wait for it to get through. And then the other one, we were right on time. We were an hour late back. But we were an hour late back, but we still got back before the ship took away, or sailed away. The traffic in Puerto Limon, once you get to the other side of town, is massively terrible, like horrendously terrible. So just be mindful of that. You definitely want to get something that's gonna. Are you good? Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, thank you. I didn't
Very
see the
muddy,
mud.
yeah.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, this park, which is usually very, very nice, is flooded and muddy with from the rain. But there are sloths in the trees. We've already seen a couple. I didn't want to video because there was locals around trying to point them out, and they're gonna expect a tip or a payment or try to get you hire them for the day to show you around. And we did not feel like doing that. We just kind of want to put around. We're looking for a pharmacy to get some medicine that we don't have enough for the entire trip. We don't mind buying medicine in foreign countries. It's normally a tad bit cheaper. And there's a pharmacy right across the street, this park. And the beach is here too. But yeah, there's shore excursions. Be careful with the third parties, because like I said, traffic is pretty bad in this area. All right, so across from the park is gonna be this lovely beach area. Looks like Costa Rica is still celebrating some Christmas. But you can see the ocean right here. Lovely. It's a rough day for the ocean, but it's because the weather's kind of crappy today. And we've got this little, I don't know what this is, this little pretty photo op-y kind of thing going on here. But weather cleared up nicely. And this is the park across the street from the port. Like I said, there's plenty of sloths in the trees. The locals are more than happy to point them out for you, but typically they are going to want something for it. And then down here, you're going to have a street that is dedicated to walking. We walked it on the tour last year. It's nice. It's got an art gallery, different shops, things like that. I think we're going to walk down there. It does look good. Christmas decorations are still up. The Christmas tree is still there. So let's keep exploring. Just a closer look at their Christmas tree. It is beautiful. And down here we have the street that's just for walking. It's a nice little straw art gallery, some cafes, some souvenir shops. They're all going to be located here. All right, and with that, it has started raining again, so I think we're just gonna call it and head back to the ship. We have something to do in about an hour anyway. This is a miserable place to walk around in the rain. The terrain's very uneven. It's very slippery. We were on a tour here last time. Somebody fell trying to get on the bus. So definitely be careful. Make sure you find your footing when you walk around here. But it is a nice little place to putter and stroll. It's much nicer on a nice day though. But still a nice get off the ship and walk around for a little distraction. All right, we just finished our shopping in the market. Finished our day out in Puerto Limon. We didn't do an excursion. Now, honestly, if there are 3 ships in port, I would probably do a port excursion, a ship excursion. The market was horrendously busy. The vendors were all out in full force trying to hawk tours. Just not a thing. I'm not really big into the pushy sales. It's just not my thing. I don't even negotiate. I bought a hat in Cozumel one time, and the guy truly expected me to start negotiating the price, and he said $20, and I said here, and handed him a 20, and he was shocked. So that's not my style, but I will say the market wasn't pushy. The vendors in the market were not pushy. The tour operators were pushy, but that was it. As far as shopping, they could seem like they care less if you bought anything or not. And we were able to get some little souvenirs. Like I said, we've been here, it's our 3rd time, so we didn't really shop that hard. But let's get back on the ship. And the guy's out singing the music. Weather is a little spotty today, so we didn't want to walk around any longer. But yeah, if it's 3 ships, I would probably do a short excursion, go see the Tortugas canals or the rainforest, or do one of the culture tours. But still a good time, still a fun time. Also, the port store had massages, pedicures, and manicures, and there was a ton of people getting pedicures and manicures. So the pricing must have been good. You know, they're expensive on ships, so the pricing must have been excellent. We didn't even stop. That's not something that I'm going to do at a port in Costa Rica, but it's available if you like it. So let's head back on Zuiderdam and have a lovely afternoon on her. Hey, well, finished what we needed to do at noon. So now we're at a lunch at Lido. It's pretty crowded, but I actually ran into our assistant server and found his section for Lido lunch. So that's exciting. He made sure to tell us he was here every day. So we will come back and sit in this section for lunch because who's been working on us for breakfast doesn't work lunch. So, but the weather finally cleared, but I don't think we're gonna go back out. It's already 1 o'clock, and we have all aboards at like 3:30. So it's a little too much. I think we're gonna finish organizing the room today, and then after that, it's dinner, and the Impressionist tonight. Rolling Stone Lounge Band has their day off. So that is fine for tonight, but let's talk about lunch today. Looked really good. I ended up in the homestyle one. I don't always do that one for lunch. It can be kind of heavy, and they're heavy-handed on the buffet. Remember, they serve you, so you end up getting bigger portions than you want. But let's see what we got. So they had chicken parmesan on the lunch buffet today. I don't remember seeing that on the menu, but I don't recall really looking at the menu because we just knew we were going to have to eat here coming back from the port. The soup today was cream of cauliflower. I do not like cauliflower, so I will not be getting soup today. But then I also got some mac and cheese, and then some sort of rice. I don't know what kind of rice it is, but it's rice. And then some beans to get some sort of vegetable. But everything is looking good. Well, once again, this is way too much food. He gave me the largest serving of rice I could have ever imagined. And he's like, is this enough? And I'm like, yes, it's plenty. Please don't give me any more. But let's dig in. All right, lunch was really good today. The chicken parmesan was nice and juicy. C stopped and got me a horseradish roast beef slider. I didn't get a video of it, but it was nice and tender. I don't always do dessert at lunch. I have a dessert picked out for the main dining room. I try to only do 1 dessert a day on cruises just because there's all around, but ice cream is my vice in life. And today they had coffee ice cream today. So between my love of ice cream and my love of coffee, I asked for 1 scoop, but the guy gave me 2. And then who can resist a homemade chocolate chip cookie? Because remember, they do all their own baking. Nothing's processed. So that is a made from scratch cookie. And then they had this orange mousse. I don't know what it's going to taste like, but it just looks so cute sitting there that I said, hey, let me get this thing of orange mousse and see what it's like. All right, so C decided to get dessert today too. Something about Holland is something we didn't realize the first time we sailed them, but they do have sherbet or excuse me, sorbet as a non-dairy ice cream because they have ice cream every day in their dessert area. So they do have just a straight up sorbet that I think they make them on the ship. To be honest with you, this is the orange flavor. I don't know why C continues to get it. It tickles us every time that she gets it or they bring it to her in the main dining room sometimes. It tastes like a straight up orange Skittle. So think of like that strong orange Skittle flavor. That is this ice cream right here. And it cracks me up every time because she's like, ooh, this is really orange. And I'm like, yes, it's the orange Skittle ice cream is what we started calling it. But I really enjoy it, but it tickles me that she continues to get it and surprised by how orangey it tastes. So if you're ever on Holland and you're missing Skittles, get the orange sorbet. It'll put you right back in that taste realm of life. She also decided to get some vegan rice pineapple pudding thingamabob with a crap ton of sprinkles. She wanted a colorful dessert today. And what's funny is we're both getting dessert in the main dining room tonight. We're just feeling extra sweet today, so go us for extra sweetness. All right, we had a fairly relaxing afternoon in the room, finished getting organized, got some work done. We're pulling away from Puerto Limon. Left a little late, it was a lot of ships in there, but it is a rockin' again. This has been a rocky journey thus far, but tonight should be fun. The Impressionist is on for a second show. It's gonna be an early night because tomorrow's Canal Day, and they said a full transit's like a 12-hour experience. But first, we're gonna head up to dinner. Actually, we're gonna head down to dinner. It's on deck 2. So first, dinner. All right, we've got another fantastic looking dinner menu tonight. The shrimp tacos are one of my absolute favorite starters. They featured the jumbo shrimp cocktail on the daily today. It kind of cracked me up. I'm not sure what's so special about it, but you know, hey, whatever. Tonight, now they do have fresh mahi-mahi. I do love some good fresh fish. I am thinking about that braised oxtail before, though. I've never had it before, but it has always looked good coming out the kitchen. Also got some chicken scallopini. They're definitely, yes, this is a lot of the standard Holland menu, but there's some different items here. And that cookies and cream sundae, I've had that picked out for dessert for a while now. Inspired by the daily. And got the shrimp cocktail. Now, they are some big shrimp, but they're literally the same shrimp we've gotten the entire voyage for shrimp cocktail, but nice, fresh, delicious shrimp cocktail. For me, shrimp taco. This is a delicious shrimp taco. I know this from experience. I get it every time. All right, appetizers are done. They were delicious. Let's take a look at these main entrees. All right, C got the fresh mahi-mahi. Holland has an amazing fresh fish program. They only serve fish that's native to the regions that you were sailing through. So one of the things we're super excited about for this trip is all the fresh fish that we get to try. We've had mahi plenty of times, but that is fresh fish to the area, and C went with the mahi. For me, I decided to try the oxtail. I have never had it. But it is looking good. It's got some gnocchi, some potatoes, some rice. Everyone says it's just very similar to like beef stew or pot roast. So we're going to give it a go. If I don't like it, there's always the Lido buffet or what we haven't done yet, a room service. So let's give this a go. All right, we had a fantastic dinner. It's time to see how we're going to finish it off with something sweet. All right, so for C, she got the passion fruit sorbet. Remember, she's dairy-free, so she gets the sorbet typically in the main dining room. This is not like the Skittles orange sorbet from earlier in the Lido. That cracks me up that she always gets. She does love a good passion fruit sorbet. Kind of reminds of the pog juice back in Hawaii. And for me, they have an Oreo sundae tonight. And then we both got some fresh coffee to go with dessert. Always got to end the meal with a little something sweet. Delicious. And good evening. With this, we're going to call it a night. We had a fantastic day. The Impressionist wasn't as good as he was the first night. That does happen sometimes when the performers are here for 2 shows. It seems like one show doesn't live up to the other. This is what happened this evening. He also performs for other cruise lines, so I think this show he had material that just didn't hit with the crowd because once again, it was like a crowd connection thing. So it didn't really hit. He did some younger songs, did some Robin Thicke, did some Maroon 5, and this audience just did not feel like it took to it. He also is a performer in his own right where he doesn't do impersonations. He has a band, so he did some songs from that, and he was good. He wasn't great, but still a fun evening after a fantastic dinner, after a great day in Puerto Limon. Looking back on Puerto Limon, I do stand beside, if there's a whole bunch of ships in port, I would probably just do a port excursion. Would not do a third party unless it's going to get you back to the dock like 2 hours prior to the ship leaving, because like I said, Costa Rica does have some crazy traffic. And a fun thing I forgot to say earlier in the video is there is a McDonald's in Puerto Limon. It's kind of far from the port, not far, but you can't walk to it. You would definitely need to take a taxi or I wouldn't rent a car here either, but take a taxi. When we were here last time, both times, and we got stuck in traffic, ironically, we got stuck both times in front of this McDonald's where they serve 3 different style McRibs. I don't know why Costa Rica gets 3 different style McRibs, but they do. We did not get to go buy it this year. I was not taking a taxi out to McDonald's in Costa Rica. But if you ever pass by it, please let me know if they are still serving 3 styles of McRibs, because that has just always fascinated me. But we're calling it an early night, just like the majority of people on the ship. Tomorrow is Panama Canal Day. We are doing a full transit all the way through. I have never done that, so super excited. Everything with Panama Canal Day, all the times are a guesstimate because of how the canal works. I know the cruise and travel director, Kimberly, is expected to do about 12 hours of commentary tomorrow, just explaining how the locks work and where we're at. The first little bit we've heard a couple times because we've been through the canal before on a partial transit where they take you into the lake and they turn around and they take you right back out. This one we go past the lake, which we've never done, so that's exciting. We are close to one of the 4 decks that has an outlook thing, so we may or may not get woken up early by people trying to get out there to kind of get a spot for the canal. I will tell you, sometimes it's overrated to get up that early to try to get a jockey for a good spot for the locks, because you are out there forever. But nonetheless, we're super excited to see it. We are going to be going through the old locks because Zuiderdam is a Panamax ship, small enough to go through the original Panama Canal. So super excited. I know the last time we went through the Panama Canal, it was on the Rotterdam about this time last year. And I know the late show had literally nobody in it. I think there was 20 people, and Rotterdam is a massive ship. It's one of their larger ships. It actually goes through the new lock system. So the ship does call it pretty early on the night before the Panama Canal. Hopefully our cruise and travel director, Kimberly, is getting some good sleep since she's got such a full day ahead of her tomorrow. But we will be back bright and early tomorrow morning to have fun and see the Panama Canal and see it all the way through. Super excited. So make sure you like, subscribe, follow along for some more fun content, seeing us going around the world on this Holland America 2025 Grand World Voyage, or Voyage, if you want to feel fancy. And we will see you tomorrow. Good night.